Go takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
It's 0-0 from here on out.
You know, if we want to talk about what we've been talking about all season of having a chance to win the Super Bowl and, make a run in the playoffs.
If you had to bet your mortgage or rent, you're not betting on them winning the Super Bowl.
People keep saying we've got talent. Well, what makes you say that? Because we can't beat anybody. I don't see where the hope is for this team going into Philly.
I'm going to be honest, I don't have a lot of hope for it. I don't think they have the chemistry. In my heart of hearts, I think they're going to lose by double digits against Philly.
Why are Packers fans so pessimistic the Packers can't go in and beat the Eagles? I think they're going to play them well.
Philadelphia's favored for a reason. They're at home, but we've seen this movie before. You get to the playoffs, pressure mounts. All of the pressure is on Philadelphia.
We had a hell of a game with them week one. You got to stay focused. You got to stay dialed in. You got to play as if it were your last.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside John Audius, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. I'll tell you right now, the flaw with having a show with people's names in it is when people aren't around, it just feels weird. I am Jim Rutledge of Jim, Matt, and Molly. Molly Brown out with babies, Matt Hamilton curling, and apparently he's in Chicago next weekend for a look-alike contest. We'll get to that a little bit later. John Audius with me in the Everlight Solar Studio again. John, thanks for joining us.
What's going on? Who does he look like the most?
Well, it was more of, do you look like Matt Hamilton?
I thought he was going to try to... Oh, so people are trying to look like him.
Yes.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yes.
I was like, who does he look like?
Wicker Park area of Chicago. I think next weekend is what it is. So
I want to see those pictures.
Yes, absolutely. Pablo Iglesias is from the area. He's toying with the idea of going home, visit family, and then give a visit over to the event. Hopefully he does that. Primetime will shine behind the glass. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
Do have the power. And
I might not look like Matt Hamilton, but I think I sound like him when I say it a little bit, right?
You got a little gravel too,
Yeah, I got to get into it a little bit more.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not willing to go for it, I'll be honest. I got to save that for pole dancing later in the show.
Well, all right.
Hey, look, it's tough enough for me to get through that segment as is. I don't need to blow it all here, Jim.
That is fair. That is fair. All right, so we got a lot to get into today. Injury reports came out, and essentially everyone important for both these teams that you would expect to play is likely going to play. Zane Anderson, Christian Watson out. We're not surprised by that for the Packers. And then questionable, Quay Walker, Evan Williams. Those are good players. They're not have-to-have players, which speaks to Quay Walker. Brenton Cox and offensive tackle Andre Dillard, along with defensive lineman TJ Slayton, are all questionable. And Philadelphia, most importantly, Jalen Hurts, but I believe Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have no injury designation as well. So they are going to see as healthy as you can be teams at this point in the year.
Wait, Jordan Love is going to play?
Jordan Love is going to play.
Oh, my gosh. Earlier this week, I didn't know what to think.
I mean, those clever folks with the Packers really had you going.
After I heard LaFleur and I heard Love speak, I was like, oh, guys, this is getting a little,
Felt like Green Bay to me.
Ryan Secondell, advisor, says, well, you sound like Matt Hamilton's little brother.
I'll take that. If I was Matt's little brother, I'd feel happy about that.
Let me hear your impression.
My Matt Hamilton
Yeah, real
impression?
quick. Not too much. Don't ruin your voice.
Yeah, okay. Let me get mentally prepared. I have to start getting in my Matt Hamilton phase. I'm a nut. Guys, I just think that Jordan Love, he hasn't met expectations this year, but Jalen Hurts is the next Mr. Mid. He's the next Dak Prescott. So as long as Jordan Love can be better than mid, we got it.
The beginning there was really solid.
Yeah, I had it for a second there.
You did have it for a second.
It's a weird balance of gravelly, but also high-pitched. I don't know how to balance that line.
Matt Hamilton, surprisingly high-pitched. A little thing you didn't know about him. So
I'm a nut.
It is Packers playoff weekend. Obviously, they got the game coming up against Philadelphia. That's where we're going to spend most of our attention. Hopefully, I'll tell you what, I spend a lot of today driving. I went to Milwaukee. I saw some of our good friends with the Coors Light folks over in Milwaukee, and I was at the Central Standard Craft House and saw the group over there. And good folks, amazing food at Central Standard Craft House. But the driving on the actual interstate, fine. It was in Madison, specifically. Milwaukee wasn't even that bad. I don't know what happened this morning, but people were all over the roads, including we had a teammate here that was not feeling the traffic. He was very upset, and I think it's kind of skewed his whole day. So hopefully you're having a better day than that. But if you want to chime in, give us an update on the roads as you go. I will tell you this: interstate, cruising along. Now, I did see an accident on the other side of the interstate on my way to Milwaukee, but otherwise, I think the roads will be fine on the way home. But 844-770-3776, you can chime in on the Carbless talk and text line. List is more. John, did you have to get anywhere today earlier in the day when the roads were not so good?
I didn't. I was going to say how bad.
Be nice.
How bad? How bad were the roads?
Well, now you're setting me up for like a joke. Well, they were so bad.
How bad? Tell me.
They honestly, I felt bad for whoever got in the car accident on John Nolan this morning because it didn't look like anything too serious. But one, I will say that there's two types of people in this world, and I needed to be somewhere at 9 a.m. And I don't know why, but on John Nolan, there's 3 lanes for a while, and we all know that it closes in. Now, the accident was where the police was way up by basically right where the bridge kind of starts. So when I turned on John Nolan, Byline Energy, I saw that it was blocked. But I also saw there was just a clear right lane, and there was like 1 or 2 cars that pulled out in front of me as I'm doing this, that I could just scoot all the way past everyone who just basically gave up on their morning. They're like, you know what, I'm just going to go over here in the left 2 lanes and just ride it out and just sit here for God knows how long until I get to my turn to go. I had somewhere to be. I did my best to be respectful. I kind of just kept on going until I felt like I got far enough where I wouldn't be late, but also I wasn't going to just jump in front of someone. Usually there's someone who's accelerating a little slow, and you can kind of slide in there, and no harm, no foul. They're not nailing the brakes. You're not causing a problem. And so I get over, but where the parts of one, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, again, I tried to be respectful because you obviously it's one of those things where you're kind of your purpose. You're going to run out of runway and you are going to cut someone off. But did the best I could to avoid that. But the other part of it was once I got to where the accident was, and I'm going about 4 or 5 miles per hour, my truck is sliding a little bit. So it must. I don't know if it was like blow over from the water that was making that part of John Nolan icy, or if it was black ice. But regardless, I felt bad for the cars that were in the accident, and I think everyone was okay. It looked like they all just kind of went on the grass because I think it was inevitable. Like, it wasn't salted enough, and I'm sure the salt trucks were out doing their thing. So just unfortunate timing. But whoever was coming through at that point, I don't care if you're the greatest driver in the world, you were going to slide off the road. So that, because even at 4 or 5 miles per hour, cars around trying to go around it, we're sliding a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually like the first, this isn't the first snow, but some of the first snows or light snows, people just kind of forget.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this can make things slippery, and they just go normal speed. And that always kind of frustrates me. Like, you guys haven't ever been around the snow before? Do we forget all the procedures? So I was thinking that's probably had something to do with it. But if it's that icy, it's that icy.
Yeah.
Isn't there a sign like on that bridge, though, too?
It does say that. Most bridges will kind of say that, like, hey, that water can blow over and it can get a little bit icy. So, like I said, everyone seemed to be okay. But look, sometimes you also have to walk that line of driving normal. I didn't go aggressive at any point today. Because honestly, it was one of those things, the more accidents you see, you're like, all right, do I have extra traction? I didn't put my truck in 4-wheel drive because I don't like driving that fast with 4-wheel drive on. So I was like, I made it, no problems. And honestly, the biggest traffic issues I had was in Milwaukee, where apparently every red light I hit was the 10-minute red light. That I was late to a meeting solely because every red light that I hit was, I swear, 3 or 4 minutes. And once you get one, it's all timed down there, so you get caught on each one. Oh, man, I went from like, all right, I'm going to be a couple minutes early to 5 minutes late.
Wow. You got in the wrong timeline,
I did, yes. The wrong metal, the universe there, the wrong universe. So, speaking of universes, there's going to be a universe that the Packers, I don't know which one we're going to be in the multiverse, that the Packers beat the Philadelphia Eagles, almost said 76ers, Philadelphia Eagles this weekend. But with everyone being healthy, it's going to be a pretty good game. And I want to ask this question to start. 844-770-3776 on the Carbless talk and text line. List is more. Are the Green Bay Packers better today than they were week 1? That is our first Siding Unlimited poll question. And off the top of my head, I would say, I'm not going to give an answer yet, but I'm leaning towards they're kind of the same team, so I have to look into it a little bit more. Because when you're losing Jair Alexander, and I'm sorry, they played that game with him. So week 1, they were a team, and I believe he had 2 interceptions. And he was the guy who was basically tasked with covering A.J. Brown, which went up and down. But the Packers don't have anyone to task this time. And then also you have you're missing Christian Watson, which provided the deep threat. And Reed, he's playing, but he is fundamentally not the same player, whether that's his fault or the offense's fault or whatever. He is not the same player he was earlier in the year. He was trending to catching 100 passes easy. The end of his season was pretty brutal. So he, I would say, is a player that has regressed throughout the season. You account for the Watson injury. You account for the Jair injury. Now, Edgerrin Cooper is a player who's ascended and has really made a difference. And then you have other players who are naturally going to grow. So I would say the Packers are, I'm gonna vote worse, but I honestly think they're basically the same team. Better in some areas, worse in others.
I would say probably worse than they were at the start of the season. Just looking at I have the whole season here in front of me. Through the first 9 games of the season, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. I'm talking offensively with 400 yards or more of offense, and then the last 8 games, 1 game of 400 yards or more of offense, if I'm looking at that right. So just that statistic alone, if you're trying to, in order to win games, Jim, you have to score points.
Right.
I don't know if you knew that in the game of football. So
mind-blowing. Mark that.
Put that down on mark that. So if you look at it, just from that perspective, I don't think they're as good as. I mean, they just lost to the Bears. So
yes, there's that part of it too. And again, as Jason Wilde, who joins the show a little bit later, can shed more light on this, but that team that everyone talks about, the Packers team that went from the wild card to winning the Super Bowl, they finished the year with 2 wins. Aaron Rodgers was playing at a near all-pro level, and obviously it all carried into the season. It is funny to me, and it depends on how you want to look at it. But if you're one of those people being like, hey, Packers were on such a hot streak going into the playoffs last year, we just felt like we were the hot team and nobody wants to face us, and we're gonna have a great run. And they beat Dallas, and they gave 49ers a little bit of a run for their money. But if you're someone that believes that, then this time on the inverse, you got to be like, well, we're screwed. Because it's the opposite this year.
But I think fans will then find a way to talk themselves.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, right? Like you can be hot, and that's the reason why you're going to be doing well. Or, you can find talking points or stats or reasons why you can go in the other way. I think that's just fans talking about their team. But, I mean, usually – I would say, usually if you're playing well, that's probably a good thing. You don't want to be losing 3 of your last 5 or your last couple in a row. So, I would say they probably would be worse.
Are the Packers a better team today than when they played the Eagles in week 1? That's our Siding Unlimited poll question.
But I also think I don't know. I heard in the intro, I said, I think it's going to be a competitive game. And I guess there's still part of me that just says, hey, listen, if you game plan for them and played them, I know different teams, it's an ages ago at this point. But if you played them pretty well and you planned for them once, why can't you play them pretty well another time? Even though you're at a different point, they're at a different point, your trajectories may be in different directions. But if you have the people in the building that said, let's make a game plan against this team, and it went, you didn't win, but it was competitive, why can't those same people make another game plan that says, let's be competitive against this team?
Also, 844-770-3776. You can chime in on the Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. And with that, I get what you're saying, but then there's the side of, all right, Jeff Hafley, new coordinator. He's better throughout the year. Okay, but also nobody knew what his defense looked like. Now everyone knows what his defense looks like. You have Xavier McKinney, all-pro. Absolutely. Great first game. Well, it's not his fault, but the rest of the league has now just adjusted to stay away from him. Mm-hmm. So now teams know what he is and how you can work around it. And that's not a negative thing against the specific player, but everything has a counter. And so I think everyone loves to believe your team is better than they were. And if it wasn't for the injuries, I would say yes. But you're taking a player, and again, I'm going week 1 roster. Not all the Packers have learned to play without Jair Alexander. Week 1 roster, you took away your only deep threat, and you took away your all-pro corner. And you added a really good middle linebacker. But then again, Reed, whether it's his fault or it was the offense, whatever, Reed is not the same player he was earlier in the year. He has regressed. Josh Jacobs, statistically, his game was pretty on par with what he's done all year. And offensively, like Jordan Love is probably less healthy than he was, obviously, until the very end of that game. And Philadelphia is a team that, unfortunately, if you're a Packers fan, you have any stronger case to make that they are better. They had 2 new coordinators. They added Cooper DeJean during the season as far as making him a starter. They switched out one player for him. He has unlocked some special things in their defense. Mitchell, their rookie corner, has only gotten better throughout the year, just like Cooper. Like, I would compare the growth of Cooper and Mitchell. So Cooper for the Packers has been great. Mitchell for the Eagles has had this similar rise, but then the Eagles also have Cooper DeJean, who has also had a very similar rise. Maybe not the same level of player, but players who have come along who are key players on defense for Philadelphia. And I think Jalen Carter is another guy who's gone from good to darn near all-pro. And he could be a havoc wreaker because, I'm sorry, Jordan Love, like most quarterbacks, does not like pressure. And the worst place to get pressure, especially for an immobile quarterback like Jordan Love, is up the middle.
Pressure.
And pressure up the middle is the pressure that usually sticks it to people the most.
Do you think if the Eagles ever get up by 10 points, it's over? Is there a range where the Packers, if they let it get to this point, you're done? You're not coming back with that Eagles defense?
10 in the fourth quarter.
10 in the second half, honestly.
Yeah.
I would say.
That's my first stop. Then I said, you know what? Because I'm still expecting this game to be close, in the idea that the Packers are going to be hanging around, and then if they caught the right break, they could make it a tighter ball game and make the Eagles sweat, and then anything is possible.
Sure.
That's how I'm expecting the game to go. So for me, that's why I'm kind of leaning towards this game. If anyone pulls away, it'll be in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Because it's the playoffs, and these are good football teams.
Do you expect this game to be more like, well, do you expect the Packers to perform more like they did in the wild card last year or the divisional round last year?
Divisional round.
Yeah. I think the game might end up being very similar to that. I think it could look a lot similar. Kind of low scoring in the first half. Packers are doing everything to keep it close and actually might even be leading at half, but making it through the second half clean would be the part that they need to do, which they haven't played a full game pretty much all season, except if it's against a pretty inferior opponent.
Both teams are slow starting teams.
Yeah.
And so either team that would surprisingly get off to a hot start would honestly have a major advantage.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's not some – this is a playoff game, so there's not some chasm between these two teams. The Packers, I think, the 5.5 line is a line to get people to bet. I feel like they cover, but they lose. I won't kind of get the predictions throughout, but that's kind of where I'm leaning for this game right now, is that I feel like the Packers are going to cover, and they're going to have an opportunity, some chances in this game that could go their way that they win. I just think Philadelphia is going to make enough plays, and weirdly, I actually lean heavily on the assistants for Philadelphia. Their defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator, I think, are better than the coordinators for the Packers. Now, I'm not counting LaFleur as a coordinator, so I'm calling LaFleur. He calls the plays, but I'm calling Kellen Moore is better than Stenovich, and I'm saying that Vic Fangio is better than Hafley, which I don't think either one of those are blasphemous. I mean, Hafley's first-year play caller, Fangio, one of the best defensive coordinators in the last 15 years. We'll continue to take your calls on both those questions. If you're looking to have that new year, new you feel, Carbon World Health can help, whether it's a semaglutide or testosterone treatments. So if you're trying to get back to your higher levels of energy, your higher levels of focus, testosterone can help with that. And if you're trying to drop body fat with an FDA-approved weight loss treatment, then semaglutide can help with that. And of course, pairing either one of those things with a workout regimen at Carbon World Health is the best way to get results. Don't jump into some sort of fad you see somewhere online or hear all over the place. No. Carbon World Health is the best way. If you're going to try to be serious about losing weight, semaglutide might be right for you. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside, with inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
The number 7 just got a whole lot luckier because of Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu. Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites from pizza, pasta, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and so much more. All for $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With this lucky deal, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have both at Pizza Hut. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Are you taking GLP-1 injections like semaglutides, but wondering how you can keep the weight off long-term? Or maybe the weight just isn't coming off as quickly as you thought it would? If you weren't given a specific food plan to follow, you might be at risk of putting the weight back on once the injections end. At MadisonWeightLoss.com, our supervised nutrition plan could help support you and maximize your weight loss results now and empower you with the tools to keep the weight off long-term once the injections end.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. If you're looking to find success achieving a new weight loss goal in 2025, do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day. A new you in this new year. Schedule a free consultation at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we offer a proven approach to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day without exercising or prepackaged foods or counting calories. Plus, our strategies can help you keep the weight off long term. Don't wait. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule a free consultation. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, you know, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
And not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordOfMadison.com. That's MetroFordOfMadison.com.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is UW Whitewater alumni and stand-up comedian Kevin Bozeman, and you're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN. Go Warhawks!
It is Phish Friday. He's John Audius. I am Jim Rutledge. That means we play Phish music all day on Friday. Primetime Laura Shine Behind the Glass. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. I did have a chuckle. Mike Greenberg, ESPN Greeny, retweeted the New York Jets. We have completed an interview with Mike Greenberg for our general manager position. Not that Mike Greenberg, but he did say this is my new favorite post in the history of social media. I don't blame him. There is a famous distiller who used to work for Four Roses that his name was Jim Rutledge, and every once in a while people would tweet at me and be like, love your bourbon. Like, got you. Thank you. No, and then there was a Champions Tour golfer who actually played in the AmFam Championship from Canada named Jim Rutledge. So every once in a while, it'd be like, oh, you had a great round the other day. I'm like, I absolutely did not, but thank you.
You can tell Rutledge that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, so there was
at the AmFam. There's a Jim Rutledge.
Not this last one. It was probably the first or second AmFam championship here in Madison.
I should have saw that. There's not a lot of John Audiuses, except so my dad's from Columbia. On the Colombian national team, there's a JHON, like a Jean, or however, I don't know how to say it, Audius. So that's like the closest anyone's ever been. Just one letter, and it's John, but the H is in the wrong spot for whatever reason.
There's a few random times that the name Rutledge shows up in things. One, in the movie Big Chill, there is a Rutledge grant that someone won, like, for being a prestige. I don't even know if it's a real grant or not. And then there was another one. There was a show on ABC called, like, A Million Little Things, and there was something in there where they called the code word or whatever was Rutledge in it. So, like, there's been random times. I believe there was a movie with George Costanza, Jason Alexander, called Dunstan Checks In.
With the monkey.
Yes.
There's an ape in there or
the
something.
guy's character, the main guy who owns the monkey, is Lord Rutledge.
Wow.
Because
There's
every
a
once
lot
in a
of
while,
Rutledges.
it's got a name, like the Rutledge at times can be kind of, it could feel prestigious if you said it right. So that's a few random times. Obviously, Wollersheim's got the no actual connection to the booze.
No, unfortunately.
No.
Just probably 100 years ago connection, but
So
they forgot about us.
My parents swear by this, and I think my grandfather did a family tree. So then I think I've shared this before, but I am related to, according to my grandfather, Edward Rutledge, who signed the Declaration of Independence.
What?
Who is also related to
What?
Edward Rutledge is Goldie Hawn. In fact, Goldie Hawn's brother, now I'm going to forget his name, but his actual last name is Rutledge, or his middle name is Rutledge. I'll pull it up, but you'll recognize the guy from different movies and shows. But he's been in Christmas Chronicles and a couple other shows where he's more of like that guy if you saw him on TV, Goldie Hawn's brother. But he was in plenty of different things. So.
I didn't even know there was an Edward Rutledge as a founding, the AI overview on Google. Edward Rutledge was a founding father of the United States and the youngest signer of the Declaration of Independence at the age of 26.
Yes, and my middle name is Edward. So.
Okay.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy. Wow, I feel like I'm, I don't know, amongst royalty a little bit. Like you're great. Whatever that, if he was related to you, that's a pretty big deal, man.
And Oliver Hudson's middle name is Rutledge. Oliver Rutledge Hudson. Oliver Hudson, obviously Kate Hudson, so I'd be related to, but Oliver Hudson, because that's Goldie Hawn's child is with, I'm sorry, Oliver is the son, so I'm sorry. So Oliver is Goldie Hawn's son, along with Kate Hudson is Goldie Hawn's daughter by Bill Hudson. So that's why they go by Hudson's last name. But there was the Rutledge tie in there somewhere with Goldie Hawn, so his middle name is Rutledge.
There.
That is neat.
There you go. The more you know.
Very neat.
Chime in 844-770-3776. Are you very loosely related to anyone mildly?
8 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
I want to know which
like
one
80 degrees of Kevin Bacon for me in the Hudsons, but
might be 360 degrees. Yeah, put that in the oven.
I wonder how famous we can get with the listeners right now. Like, well, actually,
I would love it.
Yeah, I would love to know.
So call in and share with me any sort of, even if you're not even 100% sure it's a true old wives' tale in your family of a relation to a famous person. 844-770-3776. That's the Carblist Talk and Text line. List is more. We are also asking you our Siding Unlimited poll question, and we are basically asking you, are the Packers better today than they were in week 1? 71% of you say yes. And that's mind-blowing to me because you took away 2 of your best players, and Reed has regressed. I think it's this common idea of we just get better. That's just what happens. Because then the other thing, and this is what happened when I made my season prediction, was I said the Packers will end up winning 11 games, being the same seed, and Jordan Love will have the same season, because fans always forget that your team is not the only team that gets better.
Right.
And Minnesota, and I've been on this for a while, they would have taken the Packers' playoff spot if Kirk Cousins was healthy for the whole season.
Yep.
Minnesota would have gone to the playoffs, which means Minnesota would have had the expectations to do what they did this year regardless. Sam Darnold was a wild card, but if all Sam Darnold had to do was be average and the team was going to be okay for Minnesota, he's been above average, And so Minnesota, and they've gotten better throughout the year. Detroit's gotten better throughout the year. And so have the Packers. But when you truly look at the Packers roster week 1 and you look at those players, that's why I can't say they're actually a better team. Because, yes, other players have improved. But when you're taking off Christian Watson and Edgerrin Cooper, Christian Watson and Jair Alexander, that matters. We can ask Jason Wilde that question on the other side. But let me tell you about Chalmers Jewelers in Madison. I actually got, you can see it here, bling, bling, my ball watch from my good friends at Chalmers Jewelers, Madison's custom jeweler, Madison's family-owned jeweler, Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
Did you ever hear it called "Don't Go Jason Waterfalls"?
Is this Matt Hamilton?
So I kind of just thought of this question on the spot. So it needs to be workshopped a little. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the same as Matt.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that?
I don't know what kind of show Primetime Lorsheim thinks that we do here, John Audius. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Ryan basically hops on and says, Jason's in the car with his family. I'm like, what are you? So what, I can't swear? I don't understand what was going to happen otherwise. No. Jason's making the drive from Green Bay to Milwaukee. I made the drive from Madison to Milwaukee and now back to Madison. So, Jason, I'll ask this. The roads actually were fine, especially on the way back for me. How's the ride for the Wilde family?
Well, it's going great. You're on headphones,
Okay.
so if you choose
Let
to
it
use
fly.
any
All
colorful
right.
language, I've having listened to the great job John does calling Badgers volleyball games, which I have a big Badgers volleyball fan in the car with me. I love the fact that he's so on top of his game without using profanity, unlike you, Jim. So, no, I think we're in the clear. The roads are good. Paul is handling the drive, and we're on our way to gymnastics or her volleyball match. Tomorrow she's in a tournament, and then next week both girls are in a gymnastics meet. So we're doing a lot of driving. Hopefully the weather holds out for us.
Well, you're in the thick of it. Now, to be honest, I'd be worried about you swearing if you were driving, especially with the roads being, at least in theory.
You're damn right.
You definitely get that. That's when you can get the most swears out of me. Usually, if I'm solo in the car, I'd say things to make a sailor blush if I get.
Oh, yeah.
But once the
Yeah.
family's in, then you got to lock it back.
Yeah, for
lock
sure.
it back in together. Yeah. So, on that note, Jason, what's the what kind of take your temperature on the game? How many cuss words are going to be coming out of Packer fans' mouth on Sunday afternoon when they watch this game?
Well, the good news is that there's no real cuss words coming out because of the injury report, right?
True.
I mean,
Yep.
Jordan Love is off the injury report. Malik Willis, who obviously you hope won't have to play anyway if you're a Packers fan, but both those guys are cleared. They're, if not 100%, they're at least full go for the game. They both were full participants yesterday and today. So, to me, what's going to be interesting, and this will obviously factor into whether Packers fans enjoy their experience or not, is how are these quarterbacks going to play? Like, Jalen Hurts suffered his concussion a month ago, I think on the second or third series against Washington. Dude's thrown 4 passes in a game in a month. Jordan Love, even though he's off the injury report, he did bang his elbow, and he did say on Wednesday anyway that while the numbness had subsided in his throwing hand, his elbow was still sore. And if we're being honest, Jordan Love has not been the most accurate quarterback during the last several weeks to begin with, and now he's dealing with an elbow. So, that is just one of many of the aspects of this game that I think are going to decide who goes on, in the Packers' case, to Detroit, or in Philly's case, on to the next round, or if it's, season's over for one of them.
We were talking to Tausch on Wednesday, and one of the things he said that he was
sorry.
It's fine. We made it through. One of the things that he said was going to be key to this game was which running back will have the bigger day will help determine the winner. So in your opinion, which running back do you think will have the bigger day? And is that answer as obvious as it maybe I think it is?
Well, first of all, I would never say that that's not a insightful, smart take. I don't know, though, if the team whose running back is the most productive will necessarily be the team that wins the game, right? Like Josh Jacobs could somehow have a really productive day, but if Jordan Love throws a critical pick, they could very much still lose. Or if the Packers defense, frankly, has as much trouble as they potentially could with an offense that has a 2,000-yard rusher, that has 2 really good wide receivers, both of whom are banged up a little bit, that has a really good tight end, that has a fantastic offensive line. I'm really, look, when it comes, obviously it's the playoffs, so it's 2 good teams, but I'm fascinated by this matchup. Like, there's part of me that thinks that the Eagles, on paper, are just the far superior team, and yet we all know that the games aren't played on paper. And so, I think I read this right, again, in this, where we don't fact check anything anymore in the world. I don't know this for sure. But
especially on Facebook,
I think, good thing that that's my only source of news.
I'm going to community note you. I'll community note you on this. So go ahead.
I would appreciate that. That would be great.
Okay.
That the Eagles and Lincoln Financial Field changed out their surface this week. They put in new sod, I think. I was talking about it with Keyshawn Nixon because Keyshawn Nixon is still mad about how crappy that field was in Sao Paulo. And so I thought I had seen that they had changed out their surface in Philly. But again, community notes audience can correct me on that.
I'm on it right now. I'll let you know here by the end of the interview.
All right.
Isn't that Wollersheim's job? What does he do?
I don't know. He's on his phone.
I'm on the computer.
Oh, sorry. Just made that up.
Nerd. Jason, I agree with you this game that, if it's the playoff game, the blowout is the least likely scenario that I think the Packers, I basically keep on saying like this, I think they're going to cover, which means they got a chance, which means this game at some point is going to feel, they're going to have opportunities to change the trajectory of the game. But we asked this question. I was kind of surprised by the answer of, we asked, are the Packers better today than they were to start the season? And I said, you just take away Christian Watson and Jerry Alexander, and also Reed has been non-existent for the last 6-7 weeks. And then Jordan Love's got an injury. I can't sell that they're a better team than they were in week one. Edgerrin Cooper's a nice add, but then you look at Philadelphia, and they added Cooper DeJean, and Mitchell's gotten better throughout the year, and they've stayed healthier. So even if Green Bay is better, I think Philadelphia is also increased dramatically from week one. But I think the Packers, at best, are a similar team because Jair he's a good player, and he mattered in that game, and and Christian Watson is a deep threat that they don't have anymore.
Yeah, and you're right. They both mattered in that game, right? Jair had the pick. Watson had one of his 2 touchdowns this season in that game. You mentioned Reed. Reed had a 70-yard catch and run for a touchdown.
Huge game.
And he's been largely MIA as well. And he talked about it this week. It's going to be one of my 3 things to watch in the State Journal on Sunday. They need him, and especially now without Watson, they need him to be an impact player. And I remember talking with Reed during training camp, and Rob Domofsky, our good buddy from ESPN.com, had talked with a couple of scouts around the league who told him that they thought Jaden Reed could be a 100-catch guy this season. He finished with 55. He finished with fewer catches than he had a year ago as a rookie.
Wow.
So, they obviously, without Watson, they need him to be a difference maker, but they need all those guys, right? I mean, they need Dontavion Wicks, who I think quietly has completely resurrected his season. There were people was it the Lions game where he dropped 3 balls? There was one game where he dropped 3 passes and people were ready to run him out of town. And I just think he has steadied himself just quietly the last 6 weeks. He's been the most reliable receiver that they've had. I mean, if you look at Romeo Doubs, he's disappeared at times. And I'm not talking about when he didn't show up for work and nobody knew where he was earlier in the year. The Tucker Kraft, who has been fantastic for much of the year, but he hasn't gotten the ball as much lately. So, I'm really eager to see what this offense does because this is a really good defense, number 1 ranked defense in total defense, number 1 against the pass, I think number 2 in scoring defense. But it's worth pointing out that the Packers defense ain't no slouch either, right? They were 4th in takeaways, 5th in yardage, 6th in scoring. And I don't think they've had a top 10 defense like that in both departments since Dom Capers. So I think this is going to be really interesting. I'm eager to see how it plays out, but I'd be lying if I said that I thought the Packers were going to win. I can see a way they can win, but I think they got their work cut out for them.
I am right on there with you. I'm not picking the Packers to win this game, but my thought process here, Jason, is if you can start the season and have a good enough game plan to be right there at the end with the Eagles, why can't you, at the end of your season, come up with a pretty much another game plan to compete with the Eagles again? So although I don't think they win, I'm starting to lean more to the side that I have the feeling it's going to be competitive, and it's based, kind of off what I just said, that, hey, if you can do it one time, why can't you game plan and compete with them a second time?
Yeah, and any given Sunday and all that other good stuff. But the fact of the matter is, going back to Jim's point, that I think the Eagles are a more improved team than the Packers are. They both, obviously went through the 17-game journey, but you look at the pieces the Packers are missing, you look at the way the quarterback is playing, as opposed to last year. Like, Jordan Love was outstanding in the regular season finale. He was 27 of 32 for 316, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 128 passer rating. Even before he hurt his elbow last Sunday, that is not how he was throwing the ball. That's not how he was against Minnesota, as you well know, John, being the Vikings fan that you are. Got a Vikings fan and a Bears fan hosting the program. What a world we live in.
In a Packers playoff week.
Exactly. Where's Hamilton when you need him? But the fact of the matter is that I figured it was either that or drinking a Coors Light. It's usually one or the other with him.
Or both, to be honest.
Well, or simultaneously,
yeah.
Maybe. But again, to me, this is not a toss-up game. The Eagles are clearly the better team right now, but they are also clearly the team with the most pressure on it. Like, and look, I had some time with LaFleur today, one-on-one, and he is, for as much as I felt like he was tight for the Lions game and for the Vikings game, he felt really loose today. And I know, they had, at practice during the media availability period during stretch, I was still on the air with Tausch, but he was yucking it up with Domofsky and Bill Huber. And then talking to him this afternoon, like he did refuse to shake my hand because he said he didn't want me to get him sick. And he's the one who's even sicker than I am right now. So I don't know what the protocol is there, but he sounded worse than me, and I know I don't sound great. So, look, he seems like he's in a good place. I don't think they feel like they've got anything to lose, not to the extent that they felt that way last year, but certainly less pressure than Nick Sirianni and those guys do after going to a Super Bowl and then cratering last season. I'm not saying that Nick Sirianni's going to get fired if they lose this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they made a change, right? So there's way more pressure on Philly.
I want to ask you a question from earlier in the week when Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love didn't have a lot to say really about Love when they closed down practice and nobody saw that he threw, and he was like, yeah, my hand kind of hurts, really, one-word answers. What was that all about? Why were they trying to be so coy?
Yeah, I don't know, especially considering yesterday you were able to the reporters were able to watch practice. He was a full participant. He was full participant again today. Like, I don't know, maybe to plant this, Tausch's theory was it was planting a seed, for the Eagles to not know exactly what to expect. But like I was going to say, there was a play even before Love's elbow injury where they put Malik Willis in the game at quarterback just to give the Eagles something to scout, right? I mean, you guys saw that where, I think he did a quarterback draw. I don't think he handed off, but it was like a 2-yard gain. So so it's one more thing for them to think about. So if they were, I don't, again, I think Matt LaFleur is a really good coach. I think he's a really good offensive schemer. I'm not sure he's the best when it comes to gamesmanship and keeping the opponent guessing.
Jason, you mentioned, I looked into this because you mentioned that the 2010 team, that they won their last 2 games and they played well with Flynn, a quarterback before that, and Aaron Rodgers was having an all-pro type year, and they carried momentum into the playoffs. Last year, Packer fans, rightfully so, are like, we're the team nobody wants to face. We're coming in hot, and carried for the game. So it's hard for me not to just assume the inverse this time of, like, they're not coming in hot, and they are coming in injured, and they are coming in off of 2 bad games. And so to me, that's the biggest tell of why, if anything was going to go weird in this game, it'd be against the Packers because they're coming in not playing like the team. Is there something to this idea of, like, if you believe in momentum, when it works in your favor, you got to believe in it the opposite way too?
No doubt. And Matt LaFleur completely disagrees with you because I know that when they were rolling last year and won 6 out of 8 and won 3 in a row, he was talking about momentum. And then when somebody asked him this week if he believed in momentum, he said no.
Never heard of
that. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Mo what? So, yeah, I mean, look, he's doing what's best for his team. I get that. But here's my belief about momentum. Like, to me, what momentum really is evidence that supports the confidence you have in yourself and your team, right? So everyone can say they're confident, and I think you can be, right? I would hope you would be. Certainly if you're playing in the NFL, you better have confidence, because otherwise you're going to get eaten alive. But even the most confident athletes from, middle school to the pros, you want to have success that then authenticates your confidence. Because you could say you're confident, but if you're playing poorly, it's hard to be confident, right? And so if you're looking at the Packers and comparing them last year to this year, which I made the mistake of doing with LaFleur earlier in the week, and he's like, I hate it when you guys compare. I respect the question, though. No, you don't. You hate the question. But the fact of the matter is that they are coming into the playoffs in a completely different fashion. They're, winning 3 in a row, even if you thought that their win over Carolina last year where they blew the lead and then held on for dear life was an impressive win. Like, still, you felt really good about them not being the team people wanted to play. And I don't think that's the case this year. And so, can they conjure up productivity and good defense and confidence and all the things you need to be the 7th seed and win a game like you did over the Cowboys last year in Dallas? Absolutely they can. Will they? If they do, I won't say that I'll be shocked, but I would admit that would come as a surprise to me.
All right, so this is the closest I can get to community noting the field turf. So in 2023, they changed their surface to grass turf, kind of like the Packers. They and the Packers, I believe, are the only 2 teams in the NFL that have that type of hybrid type.
Hybrid.
Yeah. But I do get on X, and according to this guy, David.
Oh, this guy.
Whenever I'm on here, I don't know what's true or not. David,
that's how community notes work.
Malindra Jr., a sports reporter, he says in his bio, says a few minutes ago on NBC Philadelphia, and this is from the 5th, NBC Philadelphia, they showed a live shot of Lincoln Financial Field of the turf being ripped up, so it looks like there'll be a new playing surface for the wild card game on Sunday versus the Packers. And then later on the replies, he says that they changed the playing surface 2 to 3 times a season. So I don't know. So there you go.
As long as it says that his bio, we have to trust him, since anybody can buy a blue check nowadays. You know what? I'm an astronaut.
Yeah,
I've been watching these documentaries. I'm really excited about my next trip to Mars.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, at least the former quarterback of the Packers is just doing some Googling, his research, and you're an expert in all things medical. So
I can't believe you'd throw Lynn Dickey under the bus.
Yeah, right. That's just how the world works. Just Google, call it research, and you're an expert. So
yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, Jason, thanks so much for the time.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
All right, drive safe. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. I want to tell everyone about J&K Security Solutions. Jeff and the whole team at J&K Security Solutions are going to protect your home or business, and they're going to do that because they have been in business for over 40 years. They're a veteran-owned, family-owned, and locally-owned business. So if you want to protect your home or business, make the call to J&K Security Solutions. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah! Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Love Madison Volleyball makes its inaugural debut Friday evening. The pro women's roster includes Olympians, medalists, and former Badger stars. Founding athlete Lauren Carlini on why the Cap City is the place for this team.
This is something they've earned, right, over the years. For as long as they've been Badger fans and supporting us and seeing that growth and the potential, there's a reason why they chose this market and why Love is here. Really looking forward to feeling that support that we've had now for many years.
Love Madison facing Austin, 4:30 first serve on ESPN+.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Are you frustrated because you can't seem to lose that unwanted weight or keep it off long term? It may not be your fault. Your metabolism might be sabotaging your results. We found that clients on average had a metabolic age 27 years older than their actual age. If that's you, how much harder would it be to lose or maintain your weight? At Madison Weight Loss, our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. To learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. If you're looking to find success achieving a new weight loss goal in 2025, do what I did. Make that call and lose up to a pound a day. A new you in this new year.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days and be empowered with the proven tools to keep it off once and for all. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment. Complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Go to celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today and get started for your Packers coverage all day right here on 100.5 ESPN. We're finishing up here with Jim, Matt, and Molly at 5:30 as the Milwaukee Bucks take on the Orlando Magic out on the road tonight. It's a 6 p.m. tip-off, so it's a 5:30 pregame coverage beginning right here on 100.5 ESPN. But you can get more Green Bay Packers coverage all day Sunday as well. Starting at 10 a.m., we'll have Sunday Karma leading you up to Green Bay Game Day. Green Bay Game Day kicking off at noon, and we'll run noon to 2 right here on 100.5 ESPN, then continue streaming 2 to 3:30 at the kickoff of the Packers game over on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Packers currently 5.5-point underdogs against the Eagles out at Lincoln Financial Field in the wild card matchup. Packers looking to strike back after their Week 1 loss against the Eagles, in which they fell out in Brazil. See if the Packers can avenge that loss and continue their playoff run, possibly to the Super Bowl this weekend.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
It's 0-0 from here on out.
You know, if we want to talk about what we've been talking about all season of having a chance to win the Super Bowl and, make a run in the playoffs.
If you had to bet your mortgage or rent, you're not betting on them winning the Super Bowl.
People keep saying we've got talent. Well, what makes you say that? Because we can't beat anybody. I don't see where the hope is for this team going into Philly.
I'm going to be honest, I don't have a lot of hope for it. I don't think they have the chemistry. In my heart of hearts, I think they're going to lose by double digits against Philly.
Why are Packers fans so pessimistic that the Packers can't go in and beat the Eagles? I think they're going to play them well.
Philadelphia's favored for a reason. They're at home, but we've seen this movie before. You get to the playoffs, pressure mounts. All of the pressure is on Philadelphia.
We had a hell of a game with them week 1. You got to stay focused. You got to stay dialed in. You got to play as if it were your last.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside John Audius, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
Jim Rutledge, John Audius with you. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. We do have a Saturday Unlimited poll question up, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Do you think the Packers are a better team today than when they played the Eagles in Week 1? Me, John Audius, Jason Wilde all say no. Prime, would you fall yes or no on that?
I could convince myself yes if I do believe that the defense is truly improved this season. Or if I just believe they played some teams that are underperforming and that's inflating their stats. Or if I do think this Jeff Hafley defense with Xavier McKinney, with Adrian Cooper, with a good D-line, and with a solid pass rush is actually improved. Which, right now, I'm telling myself yes.
Okay.
In which case, I'm answering yes in the poll.
And then we're going to ask the question because I know everyone thinks that only their teams get better and their farts don't stink. So, are the Eagles, this will be our second Saturday Unlimited poll question, are the Eagles a better team today than when they played the Packers in Week 1? If that answer is not 100% to 0, y'all lying to yourselves. And you can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and text line. List is more. Before we get to Don't Quote Me, John, you want to give us an update on everything going on with Love Volleyball?
Yeah, so Love Madison playing in its first ever match this afternoon in Houston against Austin. And Love Austin takes set number 1, 25-21 over Madison, who hits 125 in that opening set. Austin hits 188.
I wanted to chime back in on the famous people thing. You can still give us that 844-770-3776. Your brush with fame in your family, whether it's true or not. And we had Chris Manitowicz Waters chimed in. I know you were married, Jim, but the rules are out if you ever wanted to date Kate Hudson. Yeah, I know. Out the window. It's a tough one. She's like Kate Hudson in Almost Famous, one of the best characters ever. And we also have the 608 chiming in, which I'm going to rename here in a minute. But my last name is Wilmofsky, and I'm a distantly related member of distantly related to Olympic swim teamer Jordan Wilmofsky. So there's that one. And then we have the 715 chimes in with my last name is Jenner. And to make things better, my sister's name is Caitlin. So when she calls anywhere to make a reservation, they think she's messing with them.
What's up with that?
And TJ from the road chimes in, only way the Packers win is if the Eagles implode. Honestly, that's probably the best way to think about it, or the most accurate way to think about it, that the Eagles are going to lose this game more than the Packers win it. But Packer fans, who cares? Like, now in the playoffs, there's no style points.
No.
So if the Eagles lose the game and they just make a bunch of dumb mistakes and the Packers win, you take it. So maybe someone's predicting that. Let's get to Don't Quote Me. What's up with that?
What's up with that, indeed? You got me a little quicker than I was expecting, Jim. You caught up to me.
You got to push the right button here. Hold on.
Ooh,
Push that button right there. Hold
You
on.
guys have words, right? You can talk.
No, you know what? You can go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. I'm going to place my vote that, yes, obviously the Eagles got better. 80-20. It better be better than that because Eagles unquestionably better than they were in week 1.
Indeed. But maybe we'll hear about it more.
Are you better now? We got it?
We're a little bit better now. We got it now. Don't quote me about that, though.
We're not saying it's gonna happen.
Let it ride!
But if it does, then we want credit.
Say that again, because that is an amazing take.
I told you all.
If not, well,
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said.
Yeah, guys, now that we're finally caught up back here in the control room, it is time to do our Don't Quote Me predictions for the Packers-Eagles game. Could be the last time we're doing Don't Quote Me up until week 1 of the 2025 season, guys.
Not doing for every Brewer game?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, we are the home of the Brewers now.
We got Don't Quote every single game. Don't quote me. Matt can't name 5 Brewers.
That's very true. Maybe we could start doing it for Love Madison games. Maybe a Bucks here or there. Well, you know what? We'll find a way to incorporate Don't Quote Me again. But this could be the last time we're doing the Don't Quote Me predictions for a Packers game until week 1 of the 2025 season. So, guys, why don't we get us started off? It's our long shot predictions for this wild card matchup. Packers 5.5-point underdogs out in Philadelphia as of today. Jim Rutledge, why don't you kick us off? What is your Don't Quote Me prediction for this game?
All right, so my Don't Quote Me prediction for this game is that Saquon Barkley. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say Jalen Hurts accounts for over 300 total yards and 3 total TDs. And the Eagles win by... And the Eagles cover.
And the Eagles cover?
Yeah. Is that good enough for you? 300
300 total yards and accounts for 3 TDs. It's pretty good.
And then obviously I'll pick the win there too.
Yeah.
Cover more than just that. So I'm adding a couple little layers to it.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a player prop. That'd be a pretty big payout right there, I think, if you hit that.
Yeah.
I think that's bold enough.
Okay.
John?
How many layers can I go on this prediction? Because
you can make it like an onion if
it's
you
your
want.
own thing. You just peel back all the layers. Okay, I was going to go with the other quarterback in this game, Jordan Love. And I say Jordan Love goes 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. And I'm going to put a layer on top of that and say the 3 touchdowns come in the first half.
Okay.
I'm going to put another layer on top of that and that the Packers win by 10 points or more.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of fans today, I'll tell you that.
Don't quote me on that, but
that's a green and gold cheesecake right there. The layers.
If that happens, can you imagine? You're watching the game and Love's got 3 TDs at the half, and you're like, let's go. And then they win by more than 10? I mean, that is like what everything we talked about this week is like irrelevant because that happened.
True. But if he gets 3 touchdowns in the first half and then they end up losing?
No idea. Irrelevant.
All the Packer fans are going to start hating you.
Before we get to the other Don't Quote Me's, just what do you think is more likely? The Packers doing to Philadelphia what they did to Dallas, or the Eagles doing to Packers what the 49ers did to the Packers on January 19th, 2020, the 37-20 victory?
The
It didn't feel that
game.
close.
Yeah, probably that one.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, because that's a close game right up until the final drive.
No. I'm sorry. I'm talking about, I said 2020 where the 49ers kicked the snot out of the Packers.
That game.
So if we went the opposite ways, the snot kicking, what's more likely?
Yeah, if there's going to be a team that's going to kick the snot out of the other, it would be the Eagles kicking the snot out of the Packers.
Yeah, because I feel like this game is going to hang really close and in the balance, or it's going to be an ass kicking. There's not going to be this sort of like, will they or won't they? Packers, can they get it done? I think
that's kind of been the Packers all year, though. That's what they did the Vikings twice.
Yeah, but I think this time around, either they're going to actually hang like the Detroit game, the second Detroit game where they were in it the whole time, or it'll look like the Minnesota game, but they never make that comeback.
Okay.
So then it's just like, all right, you're down, and then Philadelphia keeps on piling on.
They just
and then you're just down.
stranglehold you.
Yes. There's not going to be this sort of like, oh, maybe we get back in it late sort of thing. It's either you're in it all the way or they're going to be out of it all the way.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I'll give it to you. All right. Well, Matt Hamilton, we got to get the green and gold homer from out in the desert. Let's see what his Don't Quote Me prediction is for this game, guys.
Hey, Jim, Matt, and Molly crew. I'm here in beautiful Arizona, as you can see, in front of the Coyotes Curling Club, and I'm here to give you my Don't Quote Me this week. This one we'll know real soon. First quarter at least. I'm predicting the Packers score a touchdown on their very first drive. Go Pack, go. Philly, your fans are terrible. You suck too. We'll see you later.
I love how he went full Philly
Felt like
fan
Green
and
Bay
trying
to
to
me.
rip Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Also, they're like, to me, Packer fans and Philly fans just the inverse. Philly's just like the big city version of Packer fans where like they have grit and they're mean, but they're just as passionate as the Packer fans. They just show it in a more angry way.
They're awful fans.
I think they're great fans. They just are angry.
Honestly,
Like
John,
they're passionate. They're in it. They're just not sweethearts like the Packer fans.
I
are.
remember Vikings, Eagles, NFC championship game, and the videos of just Vikings fans getting harassed, stuff thrown at them. Like, that's crap fans. Those are.
But they're passionate, like for their team. Eagle players and Eagle, like they're great fans.
You can be passionate and be bad fans.
You can be bad people, or
yes,
like.
okay.
And by the way,
I'm talking about fans.
So you can be a bad
Also,
person
like,
but a good fan.
As I've said a million times, I don't have to look hard for plenty of anecdotes of Packer fans treating me and other Bear fans like trash
That's
at games. So
there's
like
every fan base.
that's not unique to Philly.
Good and
All
evil
true.
on
Yeah.
each side of every war
Now,
ever
our
fought.
and again, I would lean to Philadelphia's look worse because they're in a large city where the percentage of fans is the same. It's just like, hey, in a large city, if you have 100,000 people and 1% of 100,000 people are mean, well, if you're in Green Bay and you have 10,000 people and 1% of 10,000 people are mean, it's less mean people.
I agree kind of with that, and I get it, and I also agree with every fan base sucks.
Yes.
All right, every fan base, even
I will never defend Bears fans as some sort of saints.
Right, yeah.
Ever.
So when I hear people,
Saints fans,
even though I just criticize Eagles fans, when I hear people criticize fan base, I'm like, well, number one, everybody's fans suck at some level. But I would say not the 1% of 100,000 or 1% of whatever. I would say, though, every fan base sucks, but I think like the Eagles fan base has a higher percentage of suckiness than other fan bases. And so I'm not sure that it's just like every fan base has X amount that suck. I think certain fan bases have higher percentages of those fans that are a little bit too over the top.
Take that for
We
that.
had a couple of
take
texts
that.
coming through, and I don't want to forget this one specifically, so I do want to do this. Jeremiah Madison said, can you guys give a shout-out to all of the ALCS kids going back to school today? Absolutely. Abundant Life Christian School, those kids are returning to school today. Those are impressive children to show back up, and I love how the community rallied around this horrible event. And so, yes, every one of those kids showing back up at school today deserve a huge round of applause and a big hug from anyone they want to hug from. Yeah, absolutely. So I will add that note in here. I did not want to forget that text later. So, yeah, absolutely, Jeremiah, thanks for telling us. And, yes, those kids, y'all get a hug over the airwaves from us because good on you. You're all heroes.
That being
let's
said,
get the last one. Yep.
That being said, don't listen to the show. Go to school. Focus. Focus
Otherwise,
on
you end
class.
up here.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, my don't quote me prediction for this game then will be that not only do the Packers hold the Eagles to less than 10 points in the first half, but I also think the Packers as a team have more team rushing yards than the Eagles in this game. Outrush the Eagles.
Spicy.
So that's including Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and anyone else from the Eagles. And then the Packers, Josh Jacobs, and the running back core of Emmanuel Wilson. Who knows? Maybe Malik Willis gets in the game as just the Wildcat QB a few times. I wouldn't hate it. But I think the Packers rushing game, obviously if they're going to win, there's going to be a need to have the rushing game perform really well. And I do think it's going to be a slow first half. I think it's going to be a low-scoring first half. I think it could break open in the second half, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as high-scoring, high-flying as the Week 1 game.
Did you guys all get into my hopium or what's going on here?
The hopium for the Packers?
My Bears hopium.
I
You guys
gotcha.
get into my stash or what's going on? You guys are all like...
Okay,
dosing
holding them
hard.
under 10
You're not
points
even-
because
you're
I'm
not
making
even
a long shot.
microdosing.
It's a long shot prediction, guys. It's not just Jalen Hurts 300 touchdowns, 300 yards.
That's a massive game from Jalen.
I'm not hopeful, even though my don't quote me is very bold, because can I say that the Packers are going to buy more than 10, but then pick them to lose? You know what I mean? Like, in my don't quote me, I'm like
Yeah, you're not-
3
right, 'cause
touchdowns,
you're not
win
held
by 10.
accountable for the don't
Yes,
Exactly.
but my real life prediction is Packers lose.
Because you could predict, like, if you're betting money on it. Like
Sure.
Jim said yesterday, if you're betting your rent or mortgage, none of us are probably betting on the Packers to win.
Yep.
But I do see a scenario where, like, if the Packers win, I think it's because they hold the score close in the first half, and it's a low-scoring game. I think that's their route to win.
Honestly, it's really a matter of what team shows up. If it's the team that we've seen the last 2 weeks, then no. They're going to get their butts kicked.
100%.
And that's kind of the main question there. And I don't know what's going to happen. But all right, that was Don't Quote Me. We'll got pole dancing on the other side.
Oh yeah.
All right. Oh, Ryan's ready. All right, it's Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this, just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Searching for the perfect brunch spot this weekend? Look no further than the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., indulge in the Great Dane's sweet and savory brunch menu paired with mimosas, Bloody Marys, or one of their signature beers on tap. Enjoy at any of their 4 Madison area pubs, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Learn more and view the full menu at greatdanepub.com/brunch. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Outside in. That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year, and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Oh, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally! And Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Hit to left and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! Wow!
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Wrapping up Jim, Matt, and Molly on a Friday, a Phish Friday. Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light. And John Arias, thanks for being in last 3 days of the week. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. This is fun.
We are out a little bit early because the Bucks start up here at 5:30 as they take on the Magic. We'll get to pole dancing in a minute. We did ask for any sort of famous adjacent relatives, and Dan and Stoughton chimes in on the talking text line. The Cardinals talking text line, 844-770-3776. List is more. Dan and Stoughton says, I'm a very distant relative of William the Conqueror. That's a.
Who's William? Can you?
He's from the 1100s, I believe.
That's a hell of a timeline.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I think he's just saying that. I think that's one of those where it's William the Conqueror's probably a guy who had a lot of spread his seed a lot, if I had to guess.
Whoa,
so people probably just say that.
A lot of conquering, huh?
A lot of
you know
conquering.
what I'm saying?
He was conquering a lot.
Can I say
a lot of beds?
Can I ask a personal favor, Ryan?
Yeah, what's that?
No more hand gestures when you use the word
Seeding.
spread his seed.
Wait, what did I miss?
His hand gesture was actually more like spreading seed, like a grass seed, but still.
Yeah, like he was literally spreading his seed around through the fields, through the fields of Normandy.
Sowing seeds.
I got nervous. I got nervous.
He was knitting.
You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. You can listen back to the whole week. Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, and those great places, including our interviews with Jason Wilde, Mark Tauscher, and Michael Costa from yesterday as well. So with Daily Show host. So all those are available at Wisconsin On Demand. All right, Ryan, let's go pole dancing.
We asked and you answered.
What?
Coming to the stage, it's pole dancing on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Hey now.
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, it's a Phish Friday, and that means we go pole dancing here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Hopefully those kids aren't listening and they're still in school, guys. But I want to ask you, taking the Packers to school this postseason, how confident are you about the Packers heading into this NFL playoffs against the Eagles compared to last year when they were getting ready to play the Cowboys? This was the question from William Tausch this morning. 32% of fans said this year versus the Eagles. 68% of fans said they were more confident going into last year against the Cowboys. Now we have a Vikings and a Bears fan on the panel today. But John, as a Vikings fan, how confident about the Packers are you?
I think that those results are fair. I would think you'd be more confident last year than this year. How confident am I this season going into the playoffs? I don't think you should be like a percentage, or how do I judge this?
I think it's just, are you more confident this year than last year? It's an easy answer?
Oh, yeah, no. I'm with the 68%.
Jim?
Yeah, it also reminds me of this whole, Philadelphia's got pressure. San Francisco had pressure, and they won just fine versus Green Bay. So,
True.
You want to be the team with pressure. I would honestly say the Packers almost had pressure coming in because they were the hot pick to beat Dallas in that game. And Dallas, they didn't want to lose, but, every team's got their own pressure. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Matt LaFleur is going to start feeling pressure if they come out slow. If they're down 14-0, he's going to feel the pressure of a season that started promising and had high expectations just flittering away. So, I'm sorry, pressure and not having it and all that really annoyed me, and I never got back around to it. Every team's got pressure, and honestly, you'd rather be the team that has the pressure to win because people believe in you, as opposed to the team of we have no pressure. Pressure.
Thank you for saying that, because there was something about the pressure angle that bothers me a lot. I think you just said it perfectly. Every team has some sort of pressure on them. So
it's just something people say, just like the momentum thing. If it's in my favor, momentum's real. If it's not a thing. Pressure's bad, but also pressure is a privilege.
Can I say what my other pet peeve about that is? Anyone who says if the Lions were to lose in the divisional round, they took a week off, they got rusty. They weren't good. Obviously, they just didn't have. They were no longer professional athletes after that week.
Right.
They couldn't get up.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
15-2 all year. Now obviously they just lost.
Or we don't need rest. We'd rather just keep on playing.
Yeah. Forgot how to ride those bikes.
You're right. Yeah. Because we want those. We play the whole season for rest, but we don't want rest if you actually get it.
Why would you?
Can I also say this about rust? I understand Jalen Hurts and the concussion and not having really played a lot of football, but I also think professional player rest probably feels a lot better than he did before.
Yeah, rust at this point in the year is far less of a thing. If you want to talk week 1 and 2 and guys are rusty,
sure.
Oh, yeah, coming in from the preseason, guys haven't played in like months.
Jalen, a drive or two, and honestly, I would say it's more of like, not rust, it's more of making sure those nerves are settled, that you're going to naturally have like, oh, I'm playing ball again, a little bit too amped. How quickly do you get to your normal baseline mental level for the game?
All right, well, and speaking of the rust question, guys, on the Homer Hour 3 days ago, they asked, what is the best reason to believe the Packers will beat the Eagles on Sunday? Is it that Jalen Hurts has been out, that Green Bay beat Dallas last year, that Green Bay has a top 10 scoring offense and scoring defense, or that Love is just due for a big game? 40% of fans said Jalen Hurts being out.
No.
5% said Green Bay beating Dallas last year. 26% said Green Bay having top 10 offense and scoring defense. And 29% saying that Love is just due for a big game.
It's the offense-defense is the only one that makes sense. The rest is just feels.
Yes.
Yeah, the only one that has a statistical basis in anything is the offensive defense.
It's momentum, Jim.
If you wanted solace in it, you'd be like, you know what? Over the course of the season, we can score points and stop teams from scoring. Jordan Love just has to be good at some point, right?
One of them is just like, the last one's just like a gamble. Like, I think he might have a good game this time.
Yeah.
The second one has nothing to do with this season at all. There's just like, and then what was the first one?
And the first one was that Jalen Hurts has been out.
And
that was 40% of fans.
I guess that might be the second best answer, but I'll go with the third.
Of the other answers, yes. Relative, I would say that's fair. All right, guys, last one here. This is not from any of the shows at ESPN Wisconsin, but from the Mr. Irrelevant show. Alex Strofe tweeted 5 hours earlier, if you are picking somebody up from the airport, example, your significant other, do you go inside the airport or wait in the car outside the airport? 83% say outside, 17% say inside. John Audius, how about you?
I think you could meet them. I think you go park, because if you're parking, you have. I think can't you wait in your car, like pull up? That's what you do.
Yeah,
you pull up and wait in your car.
He went inside to go sit at the bar and wait for his girlfriend.
Oh,
so he went inside to overpay for drinks too?
Yep, pretty much.
That guy's such a sap.
He's
now,
weird.
I will say this: the girlfriend thing, like you just do more things when you're courting than when you're actually married. But also, in Madison, it would make more sense to park and walk in. It's just very convenient.
In Milwaukee, no.
Yeah, what are you doing? Just a punk move. Punk move from Alex Strofe.
You know what's hilarious? He went inside to go sit at the bar, and they were putting up the stools on the bar. They were closing down.
Yeah, he couldn't buy his $27 Coors Light. It's devastating for him. John, thank you. Thanks for listening. We'll be back at it on Monday talking about a Packers win or loss. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
How good would it feel to